and the latest COVID.
Yeah, well, I'm going to call this segment COVID-23 because we've got another new variant, would you believe, as if Eris and Pirola. Eris, by the way, means strife, and Pirola means asteroid. We've now got Fornax. So this Fornax, which is FL151, is the newest thread. And by the way, Fornax means in Latin, I believe, furnace. So we all seem to be having a bit of a confusing message going on, because we've got Anthony Fauci saying that actually he's all for more lockdowns. Let's lock down and let's force vaccinations. In fact, we'll use lockdowns to force vaccinations on people. So that's an article in the European Times. However, we've got conflicting advice again from a study that was done in South Korea over the toxicity of masks. And as we all know, masks, paper, cotton, they're ineffective, they're often dangerous, and there's plenty of studies to say you shouldn't be using them. However, in Atlanta, they don't seem to have got the message, because they're going to bring back COVID mask mandates. The USA seems to be way ahead of the curve on this, so we need to be watching the USA. So they're going to make it compulsory, and also for health workers. And then if we stay with the college in Atlantis, they're actually going to go to more lengths, and they're going to be banning parties. So physical distancing's coming back into place, quarantine, temperature checks, large gatherings will be stopped. I mean, this is happening now, but they're not alone, because if you check Rutgers, you can see that Rutgers are now requiring proof of vaccines. And if you just go to the next slide, we'll just illustrate their policy, because you can see that their policy is called immunization program. And if you flip to the next slide, you can see that no one can come on campus if they're sick. And this is these are a very strict and stringent measures they're taking place. But let's see what the CDC say, shall we? Because I went to the CDC to look for the risk assessment for the summary for BA286, which is the same variant that they're worried about in the States, in Atlanta, with these colleges. And as you go on and have a look at the current risk assessment, you'll see that based on what the CDC knows now, existing tests used to detect and medications used to treat COVID-19 appear to be effective. And I've just highlighted some of the red text there in the current risk assessment, because it says at this point, there is no evidence that this variant is causing more severe illness. And then if you flip to the next slide, it says, what can you do to prevent preventative actions? So you could get your COVID-19 vaccine, stay home if you're sick, get tested if needed. And again, there it says, if you choose to wear a mask, if you choose. So no mandate, and wash your hands. But if we go again to the next slide, I'd like you to pay particular attention to the fact that there has been 3 cases in Denmark, 2 in South Africa, 1 in Israel, 2 in the United States, and 1 in the United Kingdom. And the severity apparently is it's too soon to know whether this variant may cause more severe illness compared with previous variants. And then if we jump to the next slide, again from the CDC, you'll see that it says nearly all the US population has antibodies to SARS-CoV-2 from vaccination, previous infection, or both. And it's likely that these antibodies will continue to provide some protection against severe disease from this variant. This is an area of ongoing scientific investigation. And, one thing, if we could just go back a slide, I forgot to say something quite important on the slide prior, because it says that nearly all the US population has antibodies, but in one of the slides, it actually says the people at risk in the current risk assessment are the people that have had COVID previously or who have had COVID vaccines. Sorry, that's the slide with current risk assessment. I do apologize. If people just want to freeze, that's the one. So you'll see there on the second paragraph there, BA286 may be more capable of causing infection in people who have previously had COVID-19, who have received COVID-19 vaccines. My big question is, isn't that what a vaccine's meant to do? Prevent you from getting something, but obviously not.
Indeed. Okay, back to you, Alex.